Excellent. How many of you have a swipe file or know the concept of a swipe file? Ooh, not enough hands. So I constantly monitor media. The first thing I do when I get a magazine on an airplane or in the mail is I page through it and I look at the ads. Or I don't skip the ads so much on television. I'm constantly paying attention to what people are doing with advertising, because if I see something that is informative, both as something not to do or something to emulate, I swipe it, I cut it out, I put it in a file, I scan it, whatever the case may be. And I'm going to tell you about an ad that has been sort of front and center in my swipe file since the day I discovered it. The airline magazines, by the way, are really good sources of good advertisements. And so I was on an airplane, I pulled the magazine, I started paging through it, I came across this ad, and I immediately thought, wow, this is the best print advertisement I have ever seen. And I'm going to tell you about that ad, and I'm going to tell you about how that ad instructs your business. Whether you do any print advertising or not, it doesn't matter. Whether you are in digital media or print media, whether you're a big business or a small business, the lessons that come from this advertisement are going to be applicable to you and your business. So I'm going to talk about some of the principles that lead to the ad. We're going to dissect the ad. Then I'll take some Q&A, and we'll go from there. Does that sound okay? Good. So before I get to the first slide, I want everybody to pull out a pencil or pen, or do so virtually if you don't have your pencil and pen. And I just want you to write on a sheet of paper the answer to this question. What does your business sell? What do you sell? Just write in one phrase, one sentence. What is it that you sell? Just take 30 seconds or so. So here's the thing about that question. Many, many, many people think that what they sell is a product or service. And I'm not going to ask you, I'm not going to ask you to reveal yourselves, but look back at that piece of paper or that virtual answer that you have in your head and ask yourself, is the answer that you wrote down a product or a service? Okay, so again, we're not going to dig on any people, but did you write down a product or a service? Here's the thing. That's not what we sell, okay? It's not what we sell. We sell benefits. We sell the positive outcomes that people garner from the products and services that we deliver. Products and services are a means to an end. What we sell are benefits. That's what people are buying, that's what people are shopping for. And understanding that, understanding the why you exist, the benefit that you're delivering, and being able to frame your marketing and your messaging around that first is what will separate you from your competition when you're trying to go out to the marketplace and sell. So, this is the beginning of an advertisement. What does Rosetta Stone sell? Okay. When I ask that question, what does Rosetta Stone sell? Most people answer it by saying, well, they sell language learning software. Okay. But here is the ad that I've been building all this suspense and excitement about. And I'm gonna unroll it. He was a hardworking farm boy. She was an Italian supermodel. Yeah. He knew he would have just one chance to impress her. Rosetta Stone, the fastest and easiest way to learn Italian. That is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant advertisement. What's being sold in that ad? Steve?
A bridge to their dreams coming true.
A bridge to their dreams coming true. That's a nice answer. What else is being sold here? Sex. Yeah. Yeah. Sex. What else? Opportunity. Pardon me? Confidence. Excellent. Opportunity. Yep. Communication. Yep. Selling against the fear of humiliation and embarrassment. Okay. All of these emotional things, right? Which is what almost everything is sold against. Romance, excitement, adventure, sex, avoidance of humiliation and embarrassment. Now back up a step and think to yourself, why do you, or mom and dad, or your kids, or whomever, why do they go out and invest so many hundreds of dollars in Rosetta Stone software? This is a fairy tale. Okay, that's make-believe for most people, I suppose. But the reason that my mom does Rosetta Stone Italian is so she's not the ugly American when she goes into those backcountry cafes in the hills in Italy. So she's not embarrassed and humiliated when she tries to order an Italian or talk to the innkeeper. So that she has adventure and romance and excitement on her trip. So that she has fun, so that she's not embarrassed and humiliated. So all of the emotional underpinnings of this ad, all of the things that this ad sells are the things that you and mom and dad and sister and brother and friend and coworker are buying when they look at Rosetta Stone. Now, keep in mind, products have different audiences and different whys or different things that they're selling. In this case, that's the selling to the world traveler who's looking for excitement and adventure. Rosetta Stone has a whole other channel of business, and they actually have good advertisements for this channel of business also. The person who's trying to go from the first floor to the C-suite. That's an entirely, I want to learn Spanish so that I can get the big job. That's a different advertisement and a different set of messaging, but in both cases, they're not selling language learning software, they're selling an outcome. Simon Sinek. If you have not seen the TED Talk that you can find on YouTube called Simon Sinek's Start With Why, or if you have not invested additional time in a book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek, I highly encourage you to do so. Simon Sinek's idea is this. Too many businesses, when they are asked to tell you what they sell or what they do or who they are, will start by telling you the what. What? I sell language learning software. Or the how. It's this interactive stuff. It works so much better and quicker and so forth than the other ways to learn a language. And they always get to the why last if they get to the why at all in their messaging and so forth. Start with why. Start in your messaging by saying what I do is give you adventure and romance and avoid humiliation and embarrassment. Wow, how do you do that? Well, I do it by teaching you language through this interactive software. Start with why. The TED Talk's a fabulous, fabulous resource, and it will transform the way you think about your marketing. Okay. So this is actually an expanded version of this advertisement. This advertisement has appeared in a variety of different forms that I've seen over the years. They actually have changed their advertising, and I think it's far worse than it used to be. This was 2, 3, 4 years ago when I started seeing this ad, and they don't have it out anymore. But the bottom part, they show the fact that they have dozens of languages that they offer. And then this message down at the bottom, this was part of a full-page version of this advertisement. And I'll read for those of you who can't see it in back. Learn a language, expand your world. Finally, there's a way to learn a new language that's easier than you could ever imagine. Rosetta Stone interactive software teaches you any of 30 languages, all without translation, memorization, or grammar exercises. It's so effective that NASA, the US State Department, and a variety of Fortune 500 executives have made it their language tool of choice. That's also why we can back it with an unconditional money-back guarantee. So let's dissect this just a little bit further. And this dissection is a formula by which you should frame your marketing messaging, your advertising, whether it's a simple blog post that somehow is promoting what you do, a print advertisement, social media posts, even something as concise as a pay-per-click advertisement in Google. Why? Expand your world. Expand your world. Clean, perfect, simple statement. Expand your world. And there's more to it underlying that, but that works in their copy. What? A way to learn a new language that's easier. How? Interactive software that you could, interactive software teaches you any of 30 languages, all without translation and memorization. Right there, boom, boom, boom. Why, what, how? Now elements that we haven't discussed but are key to any marketing that you do. Proof. NASA and Fortune 500 companies and so forth use it. Proof can also be in the form of testimonials, and there are all sorts of ways to provide proof, but this is pretty good stuff in this ad. Just having proof is very, very important. And risk mitigation. Money-back guarantee. What do you have to lose? That collection. Start with why. How do you do that? Well, here's the what and how. That's how we give you the why. Provide some social proof. Offer some risk mitigation. I don't care if you never advertise in a 4-color magazine. That formula, thinking back to that advertisement, is the way you should frame your marketing. So what I want you to do, we have a minute or two left. I want you to pull out that pen again, and I want you to write down your business's why. And then underneath your business's why, I want you to write down your business's what and how. And then I want you to think about all of that hard work you've done on marketing your business, whether it's a presentation or an advertisement or something, and decide whether you're going to spend the afternoon reworking any of it, or if this was 15 minutes of duh, I already knew that. Okay. Just take a minute to write those notes down so you don't lose the thought while it's spinning in your head, and then I'll take questions.
I need to redo my 2-minute thing.
All right, I'm happy to take any questions or comments or complaints or observations or whatever. Yes, Bill.
Tom, an add-on to what you said. An add-on to what you said is the really cool thing about benefits is it eliminates resistance to the sale. Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, when you talk about features, you build in resistance to the sale. Benefits, it's very hard to say no to benefits, and so that's really one of the great advantages.
Yep. You're exactly right. You know, we find that the what of our business is email marketing software. And people have particular bias and observations. They think they know what email marketing is all about and why they want to do it or why they don't want to do it. And so when we come to people with What do you do? Oh, we provide email marketing software. They're like, oh, I don't want to do email. I don't need email, or I don't want to do that. For John, I'm sure you get that with teleprospecting. People have their sense of how teleprospecting fits or doesn't. But if you focus on the why and the observation, and then you can prove that I can get you to that why with this what and this how, you're going to be much, much better off. Other questions? Speechless.
They're still working.
Yeah.
Homework.
Well, I'll be here all day, and
Try the
I
view.
think, yeah. And you can reach me at tom@marketvolt.com or call me directly, and I do pick up the phone and respond 314-529-1431. If you have some questions or comments, we'd be happy to help. Thank you.
Great job.